200,000 electorates participate in ongoing online and physical voter registration exercise in Cross River State. Guest in maiden edition of the stage emphasizes need to vote the right persons into power to facilitate socio-economic development. Plus, State House of Assembly confirms appointment of Anthony Anyine as part-time chairman, Cross River State Audit Service Commission. Details and more shortly. Good evening and welcome to the news. I am Justina Etam. Not fewer than 200,000 electorates have registered in the ongoing online and physical voter registration exercise in Cross River State. The resident electoral commissioner, Cross River State, Dr. Cyril Omorogbe, who disclosed this, says the figure is not commensurate with the number of electorates expected to register in the state. Nta Calabar has the details.
The INEC Continuous Voter Registration Portal has it that a new voter can pre-register online. A registered voter can review his or her voter registration, request to update information, or transfer voter registration to another polling unit. This calls for the need to take advantage of continuous voter registration exercise and get registered ahead of the 2023 general elections. Interestingly, many Nigerians in Cross River State are making deliberate efforts to get registered, though many are yet to get registered. Respondents observe that many Nigerians are indifferent, hence the need for intensified sensitization, while others who may be willing are unable as a result of accessibility to the registration centers.
We should start from our home. Let people go home and tell their people. They should see the need of having a voter's card. Your card is your strength and it's your power.
The people that are doing the registration should have been more than this because of the crowd.
We are on democracy. Definitely you need your PVC to vote, to elect whoever you want.
It would be nice if government could expand the registration to local government and if possible to each ward or each ward in the zone.
The Cross River State Independent National Electoral Commission, which has not been too comfortable with the response of eligible voters towards the exercise previously, says there is a great improvement in recent times and assures of provision of adequate logistics even to the ward level to enhance accessibility and encourage more persons to get registered.
The full number is a little bit short of 200,000 at this point. And you can tell anyway, if you were here about a month ago, you'll see the number of people that were there trying to register. But now there's an increase in that number. So far, we've gotten about 45 machines in the state, and I'm actually doing my best to make sure I get more machines to make it easier for people that are interested in registering to come out and register.
Respondents emphasize the need for intensive sensitization of the electorate to get registered. In Calabar, Nta Calabar, NTA News.
Issues of political zoning and defection of politicians from one party to the other in Nigeria and the state in particular topped the discussion at the stage, a maiden edition of the political program held to uplift Cross River State. The initiator of Think Cross River State agenda, Don Clems Ename, emphasizes that the right people should be voted to power in order to ensure good governance in Cross River State and the nation at large. Nta Calabar reports that the program is organized by the Nigerian Television Authority and Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria.
Promoting rights-based approach in politics is said to be a foundation for effective democracy in Nigeria. This was emphasized by the initiator, Think Cross River, Don Clems Ename, at the maiden edition of the stage, a political program organized by the Nigerian Television Authority and Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, Calabar. With the theme, Rotation of Zoning and Girl of Defection in Cross River State, the guest condemned in totality the issue of zoning of power and urged that such should be discouraged if a true democracy must be maintained in the state. For him, Politics is a game of interest, but defection should not be promoted. Rather, politicians should maintain their party, thereby ensuring good governance.
I do not believe in zoning. Zoning is for lazy people. As I speak with you, I believe the best material should go to the field and contest. And at that point in time, that material will overwhelm other people. I will see this clearly. Cross River State has gotten to the point where any good hand can win any election. It doesn't need to come from a particular zone to win.
For the organizers of the program, the stage is a platform to highlight topical issues, challenges, and the way forward for the development of Cross River State.
The stage is a program that is interactive, where those that have the upliftment of Cross River State to come on the stage and talk on how we can move Cross River State forward. It aims to achieve bringing the best Cross Riverian on stage so that we'll be able to assess and feel them so that we can be able to make a lot of decisions on a lot of things that we don't know about Cross River State.
It's just to bring out incisive, analytical issues as regards to Cross River. Well, our achievement is far-reaching. Set the issues, the agenda, discuss them, digest them, and then implement them for the good of Cross River.
Another session of the program is slated for the 31st of March 2022. In Calabar, Uduak Etam, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has intervened in the uncertainties currently rocking the All Progressives Congress, APC. The report is hereby presented from our studio.
In a letter addressed to Governor Atiku Bagudu of Kebbi State, who is the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, President Buhari said the multiplicity of cases currently rocking the party has the prospect of invalidating the activities and actions of the party by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The letter, which also copied to the chairman of Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Committee, CECC, the acting chairman of the CECC, Governor Sani Bello, the Director General of the DSS, as well as the Inspector General of Police. The president said that since the party could not change the leadership of the CECC without infringing on the time limit set by INEC, and the fact that the current uncertainties and controversies pose a real threat to the party, he has therefore directed as follows. The issue of the leadership of the Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Committee should immediately return to status quo. All members of the Governors Forum and their followers should desist from any behavior or utterance that will likely lead to disunity in the ranks of the party and ultimately jeopardize the transition to the convention.
And still on politics, the chairman of Progressives Congress Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, Governor Memala Buni, says activities initiated and executed by the Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee under the acting chairman and Niger State Governor Abubakar Sani Bello are effective. Governor Memala Buni, in a statement, says all activities that were done in his absence remain valid and binding. He urged stakeholders and members to disregard the previous statements discarding the activities of the committee under the leadership of acting chairman. Governor Buni calls for support and understanding to move the party forward to a successful convention. Governor Buni calls for support and understanding to move the party forward to successful convention slated for March 26, 2022. Meanwhile, the 95th National Executive Committee meeting of the People's Democratic Party has approved the establishment of a 37-member zoning committee to make recommendations for the zoning of various effective positions for the 2023 general elections. Correspondent Timothy Yusuf reports that the NEC meeting was the climax of the party's three-day all organs meeting in Calabar. You're watching the news reaching you from the studio of Nta Calabar. You can also watch this newscast on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/NTA Calabar. The news continues after this timeout. Welcome back to the rest of the news. The Cross River State House of Assembly has confirmed the appointment of Mr. Anthony Ayine as part-time chairman of the Cross River State Audit Service Commission alongside other members of the commission. This came on the heels of a correspondence sent to the House by the Cross River State Governor Ben Ayade requesting the confirmation of the nominees. The House reached a decision after considering the report of the Ad hoc Committee on Judiciary, Ethics and Privileges on the screening of the nominees, which recommends that the nominees are fit to man the positions. Persistent flooding within Uyo metropolis may soon be a thing of the past, with the construction of a large underground drainage system capable of taking care of up to 70% of floodwater in the city. Kelvin Samuel reports that a World Bank-assisted project is progressing just as the rain sets in.
Rainy season in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital, could be described as a mixed bag of feelings. For some people, it could be a relief from the heat and a time to hate for the farm, while for others, it may be a nightmare due largely to flooding, leading to loss of lives and property.
And now we are displaced. We don't have where to live again.
Then it stopped my compound. I don't have a place to stay with my children.
This thing have been damaged about 5 houses.
In response to this distress call from the citizenry, the state, in collaboration with the federal government and the World Bank, embarked on the construction of underground drainage capable of addressing the situation.
That alignment is to evacuate floodwaters on Atiku Abubakar leading up to the flyover. Then the second alignment comes from the Mechanic Village to evacuate floodwaters around the Mechanic Village, a back road axis of Mechanic Village, and then takes into the State Secretariat to evacuate floodwaters in the State Secretariat. So far, so good. We are almost at 90%.
But what measures are put in place to ensure the safety of those around the terminal point?
So we're going to provide stream crossing to prevent anybody accidentally getting into that stream and being swept away by floodwaters. That stream originally was a major source, the only source of drinking water for 10 communities. So having 10 solar-powered boreholes and for each of those communities in that area.
The rains have returned in this part of the country, and there are concerns that the project, which commenced in October 2020, is completed on or before September 2022 as expected. In Uyo, Kelvin Samuel, NTA News.
The local government has been described as the most veritable tier of government for stimulating social development and economic prosperity for Nigeria if given autonomy. Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, George Akume, who stated this at the opening of a 2-day Nigerian Local Government Summit in Abuja, expressed the commitment of the Buhari administration to making local government. Tyre Ikwen reports.
How can the local governments tackle...
Local government areas were created to bring government and development closer to the people. Leaders at this summit agreed that high population growth rate as well as lack of financial and administrative autonomy have incapacitated local governments.
We are suffering a lot because we don't have adequate funds to finance some of the projects that we want to execute for our people.
Financial autonomy for local government is the only key to stimulate economic development.
This Ninth Assembly have done justice to it. They have done the right thing by granting financial autonomy.
And we expect the State Assembly to do the right thing.
There is advocacy for intergovernmental coordination and collaboration for overall national development.
Considering the importance of the local government council as catalyst of development at the grassroots level, it is imperative that local governments be strengthened to empower them to better discharge their constitutional responsibilities more efficiently and maximally.
I therefore urge all the local governments in Nigeria to ensure they take advantage of the government's development agenda, which seeks not just to address the development of physical infrastructure, but also programs focusing on citizens, youth and rural development by providing them with opportunities.
Heads of relevant federal government agencies are also at this summit to provide local government chairmen with necessary information which they can leverage on to create jobs in their respective domains. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
In a bid to fast-track recovery and development in the northeastern part of Nigeria, the Northeast Development Commission has deepened engagement with stakeholders in the region. Mahmoud Mohammed from Bauchi reports that a state-level engagement meeting is expected to fetch information that would enrich the Commission's stabilization and development master plan.
This is the Northeast Development Commission state-level engagement and consultative meeting. This time, the event is holding in Bauchi State.
Civil society's organization are the one that works down to the grassroots. We work in the community. We know what the community wants.
Development can be achieved without the participation of traditional rulers.
I had a lot of presentations, which I believe these are fruitful deliberations.
The forum seeks to provide the Commission with first-hand information that would further enrich the development of a master plan based on the needs assessment of the zone. Managing Director of the Commission, Mohammed Goni, represented, says, the Northeast Stabilization and Development Master Plan would estimate the time and cost of implementing programs and schemes in the zone.
10-year Northeast Stabilization Development Master Plan consists of 10 pillars, which will encompass the relevant aspects of policies, programs, of budget development, and those of other items.
So the idea is to have a roadmap which every person, organization, or government that is going to intervene in the Northeast will use.
The Northeast Stabilization and Development Master Plan is expected to provide a credible and cohesive roadmap for recovery and sustainable economic development of the Northeast. In Bauchi, Mahmoud Mohammed, NTA News.
The National Judicial Council has warned 2 judicial officers of the federal and state high courts. The report is hereby presented from our studio.
One of the 2 judicial officers is Justice Baba Idris of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and equally placed on Council's watch list for a period of 1 year. The Council also warned Justice Ladan of the High Court of the Kaduna State, having found merit in the petition written against Justice Ladan, was found wanting by signing the writ of attachment. The NJC also recommended the appointment of 6 heads of court and 9 judicial officers for the federal and state high courts, Sharia Court, and Customary Court of Appeal. All recommended candidates are expected to be sworn in after approval by the President Muhammadu Buhari and their respective state governors and confirmation by the National Assembly and the respective state House of Assemblies, as the case may be. The Council also considered the reports of various committees and noted the notification of retirement of 23 judicial officers of the federal and state courts and notification of death of 1 state high court judge.
And finally, a recap of the top stories. Not fewer than 200,000 electorates have so far participated in the ongoing online and physical voter registration exercise in the states. A guest at the maiden edition of the stage, has emphasized the need to vote the right persons into power to facilitate socio-economic development. It was also in the news that the State House of Assembly has confirmed the appointment of Anthony Anyine as the part-time chairman, Cross River State Audit Service Commission. And that's it on the news. Thank you for watching. I'm Justina Ita.